back to the AlexCloud2275 stream. Hope you're all doing well this fine day. I'm good, just ready and raring to give you another fantastic episode of Final Fantasy XVI for my gaming pleasure and your viewing pleasure. I do ask that you do any likes, follows, comments, and subscribes that you may wish or want to do now or in the future. For now, however, we're just gonna continue on with more. I'm trying to get the my little Amazon Fire tablet to start updating because it says it wants an update, but my user guide isn't working. Go to settings. Let's see how things go. See what loads in. Alright, what have you got to say? Have I already spoken to you about everything? About Dalna.
My name is Delina.
Delina. Sorry. Alright, lady. I serve as adjudicant to Lady Shula, a tributary of Valisthea, while other adjudants who came before me played the role of guardian as well. As aid, Lady Shula is an able warrior in her own right and requires no protection. So, I assist her in ministering to our people's affairs while she is absent or indisposed.
By way of example.
It was I who informed the rest of the village of your coming at the tributary's request. If there is aught you wish to know of our people or our village, please do not hesitate to ask me. Well, let's ask about the village.
I'm sure you're aware.
This land was once the domain of the Northern Thanes, though the settlement had laid abandoned for quite some time when our ancestors wandered in and finally brought them here. Remote as it was, it seemed to be the ideal place to settle, then duly cast the glamour over it, that their new homes might remain hidden.
The secret of the spell itself
has been passed down from generation to generation since the time we left Ash. We used it to disguise our champ that the custodians of the lands throughout which have wandered should not have learned of our trespass, and it was these temporary enhancements that led to our ancestors to contemplate a more permanent solution upon arriving here.
So they built the cairns.
Filled with the shards of crystal that the tribe could spare, and summoned forth a glamour large enough to cover the entire land, and for many days and nights thereafter their bearers laboured to attune the spell that the outside world might see this place slowly succumb to the blight.
And thus we hid ourselves away,
welcoming none into our private haven, until you, that is. At first, the spell only worked one way, so after the skies changed, we conjured a second illusion for the benefit of those who inside. It was Lady Shula's idea, a salve for the nerves of those who feared the rolling storm clouds were a harbinger to the end. I pray that it brings you a little relief from the darkness of the world beyond the wall, as it has done to us. Okay. Oh. Okay. Alright. Moats of water.
Our story began
On the narrow coast of southern Ash, where For want of arable land, we relied on the mountain rains to quench our thirst, and the bounty of the sea to fill our bellies, and thus did we learn the value of water.
After the fall of Drake's Horn,
We spent decades in exile, drifting across the deserts and snowfields of the Twins, till at last we arrived here in Valisthea, our second true home. Here we found the mountain rivers and the seas, not unlike those that first are home in the ash. All that we lacked was crystal. We have no mother crystal of our own here, nor have they ever received any stipend from our neighbours. Were not the few shards we were able to stockpile in our wanderings during storm, we might never have survived the first few winters, let alone cast the glamour that protects us. For to demand that bearers among us sacrifice their lives to the benefit of the others was never an option. The hardship we had faced on the journey had brought us together, and we would not be divided again. Thankfully, our unity proved our strength. And so here we stayed, dependent upon the blessing in which the land provides us, the spring, the rivers, the seas. These are all the motes of water we need. Cool.
fare you well, my lord.
Alright. So, yeah, that's everything. This is all set up. We rolled the 2. Alright, let's go.
Where things are as pale as ghosts. Are they unwell?
Northerners.
Suddenly, there were curls everywhere I looked. It was all I could do to make it back to Haven without being torn limb from limb.
All you could do. And there I was thinking you were a bearer.
You're Lady Shula's friend, aren't you? Lady Shula says that if I want to be tributary one day, I have to learn my letters just like she did. But what good are letters against a Tombury's knife?
Did you hear that, girl? You're going with father today.
If you don't mind, Amanda, I'm in a hurry.
Aww. Nope, you're just holding wood, or...
Off to the surge, are you? Well, just you stay close to the tributary. We don't want you getting lost in the forest.
Alright.
There's a pair of ships just up ahead.
Ships? But are we not still leagues from the shore?
Widowmakers.
The quickest route to the surge is due east, past the second galley.
Shula.
Ooh, there's a lot here, isn't there? That's cool. I'm
How
for
did
it.
these ships come to be here?
What do you imagine happens when an icon of water gets angry?
Really, brother, did you have to ask?
Done this before, eh?
Ooh, Tunburys.
Tonberries. Foul creatures consumed by their hatred for everyone and everything.
everything save sharp knives, it seems.
It's over.
Caution, brother.
Sweet.
I can smell the sea.
It's not far now.
Too slow. Too slow.
Don't let it get back over!
Alright. So that was a little more, like, bite than I was expecting. There was certainly some bite in that fight. Alright. Back the other way.
How will we reach the surge?
We'll follow the coastline north. There's a bridge that'll take us across to the cape. You don't want to go down there. Trust me.
Do I even want to ask why?
Wait, is that even a turtle? Oh, yep. Okay, fair enough.
Help me, boy. You all right? To me, boy.
Damn. Tortoise giving me some trouble there. Oh. Dick Tortoise. Dick Tortoise. I just wanted to have a look at you, and then you became aggressive, and then you became unaggressive, and then got all your health back.
About the ray of light.
It's what prevents the surge from being reclaimed by the sea. And Dwalius by his people.
Oh. We have abilities to upgrade. Satellite. Now we can master some Odin abilities. And not for reasons. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that tortoise well enough alone. They only get aggressive when you get to them. They're not like the other angry tortoises. These guys are alright.
You said before that the child is bound within the surge. But you've yet to tell us how we're meant to reach him. I trust we won't have to hold our breath.
No. The surge wraps around the cape without engulfing it. If we continue to its tip, there is a path down to the seabed and the wave's origin.
All right. It won't be the first dominant we've met at the bottom of the ocean.
Tailwind for a millennia, the pounding of the surf obelisks. Clouded, and then the surge, a lone wave rises to eternity, cursed never to break. The hands of time stilled the rage of the tortured creature.
It's not much further now.
The path seems well kept. Do you and the villagers often come this way?
Only me. Once every new moon without fail. It is my duty both as village elder and Walius's descendant.
But surely no one blames you for what happened. Why should you bear the responsibility alone?
You misunderstand. I do it because I want to. To show him that he isn't alone, and that there are still some of us who would see an end to his suffering. Suffering you will soon witness with your own eyes.
Active time tides. Entries for the rising tides will now appear in the active time lore. If you don't recognize the term or wish to know more about the events currently unfolding, hold the touchpad to access the relevant information. The surge is a towering wave seemingly frozen in time from past 80 years due to its sudden appearance off the Mistaddy Cape. Nepto immediately following the fall of Drake's Eye, scholars generally presume the two occurrences were related. According to Shula, the tributary of the moats of water, the wave is not only summoned by a Leviathan the Lost, but that the Echion's dominant lies trapped within it, victim of a terrible ritual that sought to harness his power. Shula is the tributary of Mysidia, final haven to the moats of water, desperately seeking a means to free Walias from the prison created for him by her ancestors. She invited Clive and his allies into her hidden home, though her strength may pale in comparison to that of her dominant guests. She's a skilled warrior in her own right, wielding both a weighty axe and the spells of a bearer. Walias, the current dominant of the Leviathan, born into the family of the tributary of the moats of water some 80 years ago. Soon after his birth and awakening as a dominant, he was subjected to the sinister ritual in the hope of harnessing the power that slept inside him. Alas, all did not go to plan, and the Leviathan ran amok and summoned a wave that would have destroyed Haven, were it not for the second part of his family's plan, freezing the child and the world around him in time.
The forest grows quickly here. Left unattended, the path would be reclaimed in a matter of moons.
Does the light point the way to the child?
It does indeed.
Look at all the droplets of water suspended in midair.
Where they have remained untouched by time for 80 summers.
It's not right.
No, it's not.
There. Up ahead. Down in the center. Follow me.
He's still primed.
I'll never forget my first priming. The fear. And I was old enough to understand what was happening. One can only imagine how this poor child felt.
He is the victim of an unforgivable sin. Committed by people who saw him as nothing but a means to an end. He must be so frightened.
Then I'll ease his burden.
You don't mean?
I'm not going to hurt him. Contrary to the tales, I don't go around killing dominants for no reason. What if I told you there was a way to remove Wallace's icon?
I'd tell you you were a madman.
It's hard to believe, I know. But it can be done. Though, it isn't without its risks. Part of the icon remains no matter what.
So, it might still come to violence.
I don't know. It depends on the dominant. I've seen things end well, and I've seen things spiral out of control. But I do know one thing. If we turn our backs on this child, there will be no end to his suffering. And I think that a worse fate than the alternative. Don't you?
Very well. Do what you must. And whatever happens, I will own the consequences.
Don't be afraid, little one. Let me bear the weight. Hush now. It's going to be all right. I think so. I can feel the icon inside me. But something's wrong. He wasn't just afraid. He was angry. All right. Let's see what you've given me.
Apologies. Alright, what we got? Ooh, the power of water. Clive became a portion of the Econ Leviathan's essence. Attuning with the Leviathan not only changes the elemental aspects of Clive's magic, but also how to access several new iconic abilities, such as Crosswell, an inescapable rush of water that plummets the enemies from multiple angles. Ability details are found in the main menu. Leviathan's Theats. Leviathan's Theat, Serpent's Cry, can be used to summon Clive's off-arm spitting sea serpent cold, capable of dealing precision strikes to an enemy of a great distance. Pressing square with this in this state will unleash Tidal Torrent, multiple bursts of the water capable of forcing and knocking back smaller creatures, while pressing triangle will fire a more powerful jet of water, a tidal stream, at enemies just outside of melee range. Okay. So I've just literally got brand new winter fingerless gloves, and there's just threads galore at the, well, I suppose it's a design thing just at the tail end. I think it's just where the wovening has ended on each side of the glove. Give me a minute. There we go. I've nipped my tips. Cool. And then next, tidal gauge. Using these casts will deplete your tidal gauge, becoming unavailable when the gauge is empty. The gauge slowly replenishes over time and can be refilled correctly by pressing R2. Second time, press perfectly on the on-screen prompt to immediately refill the gauge, as well as earn unlimited animation for a short period of time. Tidal gauge also replenishes when successfully executing a precision dodge. When you use Serpent Sky, pressing 0 again while dodging will call Clive to roll in the air for an extended dodge even further. Tidal current can be used by walling and pressing square. Only the Leviathan abilities can be used during this battle. Okay.
Is that Leviathan?
No, just an eggy, but a formidable adversary nonetheless.
So shotgun, wave.
Oh, look. It has friends.
Okay, deluge. Cool. Used in crafting an aqueous orb, it has been noted that some early texts of the forebears would oft times refer to crystals as orbs, and while the use of all capital letters to this day cannot be satisfactorily explained, use of all capital letters to this day cannot be satisfactorily explained. The term itself most often likely one scholar's interpretation of the text manuscripts from much older language. The pale blue fragment taken from the body of the Egi Pyrkos, however, is indeed an orb, while nigh flawless and teeming with the wild wards of and eds of pure life energy, it by no means warrants the rendering in the uppercase.
Is everyone all right?
He seems calmer now.
You said Walius was frozen in time. But he knew we were here. How?
I don't know. He's never reacted to anything or anyone. Until now.
The child has been bound for nigh on a century. If he has been conscious from the first, we must remove the seal at once.
It's not that simple. I wish it were, but... there's more to this tale. It would be better if I explained back at the village.
I see. Then let's return before it gets dark.
I'm sorry, Walius. I will make this right. So, part of Leviathan is inside you now, is it? Does it hurt?
No. Not anymore, anyway.
Good. Because I still have need of your strength. If you want to know the rest, we should head to the Witten Hall.
Of course.
Return to the Witten Hall. But we got no smither! No smither things! For smithers.
Doctor, the tributy's back. Do you think they saved Valius?
We'll find out soon enough, son.
And what are you two drawing?
The rill. We're seeing who's fastest, and I'm going to win.
The broom is your warhammer. The leaves our mortal enemy. Show them no mercy for the glory of Mysidia.
No sign of the child.
You don't think he's...
Reckon my steel's just as good as any. I'd like to see another smith do better. Till next time, then.
To the hideaway. Oh yeah, very dramatic music. New weapon. Oh, it's like a blue version of the... A little bit like it. The pommel's different. Right. You've got nothing else to give you, do you?
I was wondering when next you'd visit.
Reading of the tides. The entries for the rising tides are now available for using in the towns and poems. Speak with Harpocrates. He does not give wisdom for listening to Clive's account of these quests. Reading tides. They will appear on the final page of each of the 4 sections. of compiled knowledge. All entries for the DLC accessed by selecting the right rising
If you
tides
have
to
a
the keyword
question for
search.
me, I should be happy to answer it.
Okay. Alias. The dominant of Leviathan, who Shalia has seen to freed for the 80 years imprisonment. According to the tribute's tale, the dominant summoning Zekanon brought forth the surge, a frozen wave that looms upon the horizon of Northreach, in which it sleeps even now. The current dominant of Leviathan, born to the family of the tribute, is the Prince of Water some 80 years ago, soon after his birth and the awakening of the dominant. He was subjected to the sinister ritual, hoping to harness the power that slept inside him. Alas, it did not go to plan, and Leviathan ran amok, summoned a wave that would have destroyed the haven, were it not for the second part of his family's plan, freezing the world around in time. Cool. Dahlia. Adjunct to Shrula, tributary of the haven. Screw it, we'll just use scissors. It's not common, claimly. Who ministers the affairs of Moors. When her leader, otherwise indisposed, it was she who informed the people of Haven the coming of Clives and his allies, and ensured they would be welcoming the outsiders, as if they were family. Lovely. And Havat is Haven's craftmaster, though his social skills may be found still wanting. His artisanal skills are unquestionable, especially considering the lack of supplies available for motes of water hidden at home. The feelings for his wife Wydra, however, are both diverse and abundant. Lay of the land. Go back session. Mystidia, long thought lost to the Blight. Mystidia is in fact one of the last few regions in the former Northern Territories that remain lush and teeming with life, though one might not believe so when viewing it from across the Orpheus Bay. This is solely due to a powerful magical glamour erected by its residents, the motes of water, to make the land appear dead from an outside, thus discouraged unwanted visitors. And Tallwind Bay is technically the western edge of the Orpheus Bay, that stretch of calm ocean off Mystidia's eastern shore, earned the name Tallwind after Leviathan primed here 80 winters and laid waste to the shore by threshing with his almighty tailfin. Haven is a small village situated in the centre of Mystidia. Oh, that's the history. Basic information: a deal village situated in the centre of one of the northern's remaining woodlands. Here they live in moats of water, the tribe originally hailing from the Ash, having only arrived in the region in the last century. A wooden palisade encompassing the isolated community provided protection from the region's myriad of beasts and beastmen. It's a small village situated in the centre of Mystidia, and the motes of water who established the current settlements near a century ago found their new homes amongst the ruins of pre-existing stone architecture. To ensure the existence of their people remain unknown, only a handful of Haven residents have ever been permitted to leave the village, and even then usually only for the purpose of trade. Cloaktop is access to the village of Haven is limited to this narrow, poorly kept path following punishing ascent. Skirts of the edge of the Lost Cloak, where peril oft awaits those who pay more attention to the breathtaking vista than they do the path beneath their feet. The Lost Cloak is towering cliffs that stretch along the border between Sandbreak and the Northern Territories are known as the Lost Cloak. The Giant Cloak, or simply the Cloak, have earned the name for their appearance, that mantle draped over the shoulder of a mighty titan. And then going back too far. Its other entry, Sculpted Skies. The towering cliffs that stretch along the border between Sandbreak and the Northern Territories are known as Lost Cloak. The Giant's Cloak, or simply the Cloak, earned their name from the appearance, that a mantle draped over the shoulders of a mighty titan. For nearly a century, the region has been enshrouded in a magical glamour, making it appear simply another stretch of empty deadlands, discouraging all from approach. And then farthest fell the strand of primeval forest, its name given by the motes of water, whose fathers and grandfathers first felled the trees. There to fortify Haven. Village woodcutters still visit the area to this day, careful not to overharvest and always mindful to replant. Villagers trapped also frequent the area to take advantage of the abundant game that provides Haven with a source of meat and pelts and trade in Northreach. And then Valisthea Bay, stretching west from the former holy capital of Oriflamme. Valisthea Bay was until recently utilised in the northern Thanes to raid wheat and rye fields of the Royal Medal. To prevent such unwanted incursion into Imperial land, the Empire lined the coast with watchtowers from Moor to Northreach. However, the Blight swallowed more and more of the north, forcing the Thanes into isolated pockets. The frequency of these raids trickled to almost nothing, and now a handful of towers remain. Cool. And then the Drake's Horn, Moats of Water. A mother crystal which stood in the southern ash for generations. The lands surrounding it were inhabited by peaceful people known as moats. Water, however, the fall of Drake's Horn 300 years ago left Drake's Spine the only mother crystal on the continent and sparked a decade-long contract for the control of the ethereal bounty. The moats, their homeland, fast being consumed by the Blight and unable to compete against the warring tribes, chose to adopt a nomadic lifestyle which continued for the next 2 centuries. The Northern Territories, spreading deadlands. Once a loose collection of nations that sprang up around the region as the Mother Crystal, Drake's Eye, but in 40 years following the Mother Crystal's fall, a combination of both the bright and inexorable advantage of the war with neighbouring Rosaria worked to quicken the area's destabilization, and now only a handful of hardy survivors remain. While most of the north has regressed into a lifeless wasteland, a small corner situated on the western shores of Valisthea Bay, known as Mysidia, remained untouched, albeit hidden by powerful magical glamour that maintained the villagers who reside beneath the pile. Cool. And then Mysteries of the Realm. And Glamour is an ethereal dome with moats of water to shield those from Mysidia from prying eyes. From the outside, it appears as if the land has been lost to the Blight, yet inside this blue sky soar over the lush forests, teeming with life. Batchious wine. Depending on who you ask, Batchious wine is either the ambrosia delight distilled by the gods themselves, or a fantastically woven by vintners and liquormongers of ill repute to separate the thirsty masses from the hard-earned coin. The truth, however, is somewhere in between. While Batchious wine does in fact exist, it is only produced on the continent, and therefore will command a king's ransom to those few high-end inns and brothels that actually manage to procure a bottle. As such, demand well exceeds supply, forcing innkeepers around the realm to find alternatives that will satisfy their patrons' want for the occasional richesse drop. For this is frequently accomplished by branding lesser quality vintages as a result. Has not only a questionable flavour, but a tendency to induce some of the most severe headaches outside of a battle hammer to the face. Cool. And then Glamour Cairns. Glowing pillars of stacked stone found scattered around Mysidia. The crystals within there maintain the glamour. In the hidden, they do not so throughout the constant channeling of the Aether, much as the municipal shards, fire forges and fitwells, and light lamps elsewhere in the realm. Moats of Water. Okay, people among the dominant Leviathan is born, notable for their ivory hair and sapphire eyes. Histories agree that their bloodline has ended some hundreds of years ago, the Echion that swims within the forever lost the world. Cool. That's basic information. Yeah, a little more complicated. The people among the dominant of Leviathan spawn. The history begins in the land surrounding Drake's Horn and Southern Ash. After the fall of the Mother Crystal, their people set out in search for a safe haven, wandering through the alien lands of Storm for decades until they found a new home in the unclaimed lands of Mysidia. Their long history of common struggle having united their people against one, bearers of the moats are esteemed equally to their less blessed brethren. Elder's Blessing, originally native to Southern Ash, these flowers flourish in the banks of the freshwater streams. A stem yielding a fine yet durable fibers. Their petals are lasting blue dye. They have long treasured by the moats of water as crafting material and a symbol of their tribe. When Drake's Horn fell, their long years of exile began. The tributaries over time ordered that the seeds of the flowers be harvested and that the people might plant them wherever they stopped to water, bringing peace of home to the foreign lands through which they wandered. And Bestiary. Leviathan the Lost. Despite the prominence of dominance in the Achaeans in modern politics and warfare, recent history makes no mention of the Achaeans in water, so as long as it's been in fact since Leviathan last appeared in Valisthea, that he is now almost exclusively referred to as lost, as where exactly he went, though no one is quite certain. So long has it been since the Achaean of water last appeared in Valisthea that many have forgotten the Leviathan ever existed, despite much evidence to the contrary. Old writings clearly speak of a dominant past summoning great whale-like creatures capable of swallowing entire cities with their gaping maws. Visual records of such as the famed Circle of Malleus tapestry also exist, depicting Achaeans as a giant serpent among its elemental brethren. In Pekios. Pekios was the first encountered by Clive following his attempt on absorbing Leviathan's ether. Sensing the danger Leviathan's dominant, the baby Wyas summoned forth from the abyss, sending a carter of salt and spray at Clive and his companions. Although they did miss their mark, from one of these stray gouts emerged a horrible creature possessing the features of both human and Piscean, able to call these seas as they did her creator, the ethereal ghost surrogate, or Eggy, as they have been called, harried Clive until they succeeded in putting her down. And then Tonberries. A race of beastmen native to the Northern Territories. While distinguishing features include dark green skin, a naturally round head, and slightly hunched gaunt, Tonberries are known best for their unhealthy obsession with vengeance and the unnaturally sharp knives that they carry to exact it. Slighting a Tonberry, even in the most insignificant manner, will plant a foul seed in its heart, and over time it will take root and grow, driving the Tonberry to madness. There it can only be stemmed with murder. Should you harm one of its kin, perhaps to face the rancor of the entire tribe. Oh. Well, too late to stop that.
Did you learn everything you needed?
Yes, I did, Hippocrates. Thank you very much for your assistance. Oh. And Nebby knew... What's her face?
There's something about it. I feel like it's falling. Clive.
View the state of the realm.
Allow me to educate you. Here's the latest information I have.
Let's see this child freed. We'll save him, whatever it takes. You always did hate taking baths. You must do what we can to save the boy. Our work is not yet done. Thank you for your consideration. You're just a baby. Shula's voice. Leviathan's dominant must be saved. Can you help us? He's done his reading. Thank you for the introduction. What a fine hound. Don't let me down. Passing through the grammar takes a bit getting used to. Thinking she likes it here. And so you don't know everything. You like our home, do you, boy? This could be the day. Our guests are to be treated as family. I have a duty as tributary, and I will see it done. Must make our guests feel welcome. Haven shall be safe, my lady. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Our home is your home. Our home is your home. He's adorable. Okay. The poor soul. Just go with care, I pray. The boy, who was the tributary of the moat some 80 years past, and awoke as dominant of Leviathan soon after, remains trapped in a temporal prison made for him by his family after their attempts to harness the Achaeon's power incited its wrath. Now it's all Shula can do to treat the rocky road across Cape Null down to the Scourge once a month, and the child now that is not alone. Lend us your aid, I pray. Our home is yours. Our home is yours. Just do what I can for the boy. Wallius torture cannot be allowed to continue. Thank you, boy. We must find a way to free the child. What did your people do to you? Tell us everything you know. That binds the spell to the boy. Thank you for your kindness. Find it difficult to believe it. Who are you? Who could you have been? Not only the moats of water, but the north too. Am I dreaming, brother? The moats of water yet live. Alright, cool. What's your input from the beginning? Can't ignore this, can't ignore this, can't ignore this. Want to see it with my own eyes, want to see it with my own eyes. Always wanted to show you north. Shrilla needs our help. We'll do what we can to care for your friend. She doesn't stand on ceremony. How does one survive 80 years of imprisonment? It's a pleasure to meet you. What happened here is not right. Just ain't right. You can save you, we will. We'll save him whatever it takes. It's a pleasure to meet you. Alright. What does our best boy have to say? We're off on another adventure. I know that smell. Are we there yet? I don't know what they're talking about. She seems nice. She smells like blue flowers. It's a nice walk, isn't it? I remember the smell. It's a nice walk, isn't it? You're part of the pack now. Oof, he's accepted her. Everything smells fresh here, even that monster. We make a strong pack. Where did that thing come from? We make a strong pack. Alright, cool.
One must understand one's place in the world.
80 years in the frozen wastes, Northern Territories. Valisthea, Haven, the Northern Territories. Still teeming with life, including the descendants of the moats of water, cast the glamour of the place. Yep. Alright.
Thus ends today's lesson.
Alright, we're going to head back, guys, and because we've got, well, let's see what we can purchase of his abilities first. Leviathan channel. Oh, everyone scooched along just a little bit to fit Leviathan in there. Alright. Oh, these are going pretty cheap, actually. Alright, what are we looking to get rid of? Yes, reset Mesmer. And give it its upgrade again. And yes, reset Satellite. And give that its double upgrade again. And yes, reset Raging Fists. And give that its double upgrade again. And then let's see what we can do. Alright. Tsunami. Tsunami upgrade. Abyssal Tier upgrade. Give that its mastery. Get that upgraded. 500 points. Okay. Cool. Alright guys, I'm going to leave you here for now. I'm going to, yeah, just jump back, rearrange the abilities, and meet you guys at Haven. Until then, I'll catch you in the future.